Today as we celebrate our second graduating class of our certified nursing assistants in East Brunswick. It's really nice to have everybody here. We are so thankful for the time that everyone put in to the class, all the hard work that you guys have put up to this point, and couldn't be more excited to graduate our 8 students today and have them start on our units, hands-on as official employees, CNAs of CareOne East Brunswick. So thank you again for coming. Now, the graduates, if you haven't already learned, you will, that sometimes in healthcare you can plan as well as you want, but you have to often pivot. And while our Executive Vice President, Elizabeth Straus, did plan on being here today, unfortunately she got held up, but the good news is that in her place we have our Senior Vice President of Procurement and Ancillary Services, Allison Fitzpatrick, who's going to share her address with us now.
So I'm pivoting. Okay. So how many here, and I want you to raise your hands, like to be recognized? The department heads don't like to do it. The chief nursing officer, like, everybody likes the gold star, right? Okay. You're working in the right place then. Right. You're working in the right place. I'm going to tell you some names, and by the end of it, you're going to get the gist of the recognition that these individuals have had. Which this is only a small list. Comparison to the 15,000 employees that we have in our company. Okay? So we have Rosemary, Marylise, Kim, and Rowena. They're all CSCs with our company. All started off as CNAs. They both got their LPNs. They are RNs, unit managers. Even Rosemary is an administrator now. Now she's back to CSC, right? She pivots very well. Rosemary does. So all these individuals are senior leaders within our organization. You have Maureen Montegari. She was an HR representative in Massachusetts. She was promoted to the Vice President of HR for New Jersey, and most recently, with all of her recognition that she has received in her hard work, she's now the Vice President of HR for our entire company. It's pretty impressive. Toya Casper, to my right here, started off as a RN, unit manager, supervisor, DON, administrator, RDO, regional director of operations. She had 3 buildings, and I think she had 10 buildings, or maybe 20. Now she's our chief nursing officer for the entire organization. Right. Amazing, amazing recognition for her hard work. Before we talked about him a little bit, he started with our company as a junior attorney. He then was our chief legal advisor, and now he's our executive vice president and our chief legal advisor as well, and general counsel. And I would be remiss if I didn't have somebody in this room to recognize as Ekta. I've kind of grown up a little bit with Ekta. She was an intern at our Jackson facility. She grew into a social worker, an assistant social worker, and now she's the director of social work within our organization. So there's many individuals, and actually I'm going to recite my resume to you because it's pretty long. And I think this is going to show you that you don't need to have an extensive amount of background and experience in your chosen field to be promoted within our organization. Lizzie Straus says it the best. She says that we don't hire positions, we hire people. And when I get through reciting my resume to you, you're going to understand why. So I started in this actually facility as a food service director. During my tenure here, I started assisting other facilities with quality of food, and as you can see here, it's amazing that what they're offering here. So I went and opened CareOne at Wall as the food service director. Then I had an administrator come to me and say, "Oh, you should become an administrator. First of all, I thought you had to have this many acronyms across your name, and I had no idea what that was to be that." This administrator told me, "Mark Roslin, you need hard work, dedication, and you need to be loyal. And one more thing is, and you need to be transparent, because as an administrator, there's nothing that's going to be perfect, and you need to make sure that you utilize your resources." So I took his word and I said, okay, what do I have to lose? I was a single mom with 3 children, and I went back to school to earn my LNHA. So fortunately enough, I did have my bachelor's degree, because that is a prerequisite for the LNHA program. So I went through that, thinking that I would be an assistant administrator, and I would just be an assistant administrator the entire time I was with CareOne. And I was very wrong about that. I think the day that I received my license, I had Tim Hodges, who used to be our chief officer in operations, who now is our chief marketing officer, tell me that he needed assistance within our organization up at CareOne Valley. So from there, I was the interim administrator, and 3 months later, I was promoted to administrator. So Mike Munter, the regional operator at that point, said, "You have hard work, you're dedicated, you're loyal, and you're not afraid to be transparent." So even though I was a very new administrator, just with even in healthcare in general, they gave me the opportunity because they saw how hard and dedicated I was when I worked with our residents. And this is what I see in all of you. This is what Tyra sees in all of you. That whatever hard work, dedication, loyalty, and transparency that you carry within yourself will be rewarded. I'm very proud to stand here on behalf of Lizzie Straus, and I congratulate all of you, because now Lizzie Straus has honored me by making me the Senior Vice President of Procurement and Ancillary Services. And I only say that because there's like a ton of other departments attached to that. But I could not do it without all of these peers around me and all of the dedication that all of you have to our residents. So for that, I applaud you.
Thank you, Allison. Well, as CNAs, you're jumping right into the forefront of patient care in our facility. Honestly, one of the most important pieces of the entire process here with providing care to our residents. And heading up the clinical team alongside Tyra as our Director of Nursing is Dr. Michael Carlucci, who's our Medical Director here in East Brunswick. And it's my honor right now to introduce him to share some words.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
How you guys doing?
Good.
I just want to say just a few words. I understand you're all going to be working here, which is fantastic. I'm going to get to know all of you. I don't remember any of you. I'm sure I did physicals, but I don't remember any of you. But I promise we'll get to know each other. But you play, there's a lot of flowery talk in an event like this, but this is real. You play an important role, a critical role. Often, you make the difference between success and less success with the patient experience. Your level of commitment, your level of care is absolutely essential. You're the first responders to almost everything. So a smile, and the way you're smiling now, and compassionate care will be recognized. It's a really exciting time to start in healthcare, and you can go a long way. Trust me. You just heard the kind of somewhat, if I can say, meandering path that you took. I took a very meandering path myself. I started out, I didn't even go to college initially. And I started out at a minimum wage job that didn't require any training, and it took me a long time. I was 10 years older than all of my classmates when I finally went to medical school. So you guys can go a long way. Work hard here, be compassionate, and show off the skills you've just learned. And we can work together as a team, and that's the approach here. We can work together as a team, and you will go far. Thanks.
Thank you, Dr. Carlucci. Speaking of teamwork, it's really great to recognize one of the students from this team who graduates today. And it's my honor right now to call up Frankie Thomas to share some words with us.
Good afternoon, everyone.
Good afternoon.
First, I would like to thank the Lord for health and strength that made it possible for us to be here today. Also, for knowledge which has allowed us, the grade 8, to be in the second graduation class here at CareOne. We would like to thank Mr. Daniel Straus and his daughter, Miss Lizzie Straus, who are the owners of CareOne, for their financial support and the opportunity which allowed us the privilege to be here today. Without their help, we, this graduating class, would not be here. At CareOne, dreams are made possible. Miss Berlin, our professor, you taught us with diligence, patience, and love. You cared for us like no other teacher. Thank you for making these past 5 weeks ones which will be remembered for a lifetime. Thank you, Mr. Allen, for being kind and patient and receptive to our needs. Thank you, Ms. Tyra, for the hard work that you have put in order to make all this possible for us to be here today. Thank you, Ms. Natasha, for all the injections you've given us in order to make sure that we were healthy. Thank you, Ms. Diva, for working with us on our schedules, even on days when you were drained out. Thank you, former graduates and staff, for the help, support, and advice and embracement that you have given to us. Thank you, family and friends, for your support and words of encouragement. Last but not least, thank you, classmates, for your support, laughter, and help, which we have provided for each other. Remember, CNAs, we are the beacons of light in the world for the ones who are helpless, suffering, and hopeless. We all have our different reasons why we chose to dedicate our lives and time to this career. And according to Stephanie Coley, we want to be examples for our children and family, so they would have no excuse not to achieve their goals no matter what life throws at them or how old they are. This is our opportunity to do good in this life. Let this be a reminder, CNAs, that we are the people who our patients, co-workers, and everyone else will look to, whether we are having a good, bad, horrible, or stressful day. Let us be the ones who will make a difference not only in the lives of our residents, but in the lives of all whom we come in contact with daily. Let them know we care. We are not just CNAs, we are angels in disguise. Congratulations, class of 2017, and thank you, everyone.
Wow, thank you, Frankie. That was beautiful. That was really great. I know we're having fun already, but this is the really fun part of our ceremony where we get to honor and acknowledge our students for the hard work they put in. And at this time, I wanted to ask if if Toya Casper, our Chief Clinical Officer, Tyra, our Director of Nursing, and Bill Lynn, our instructor, can join us on stage. Thank you.
Hi, guys. Oh, not a dry eye. I've been crying for the last 5 weeks. Today we celebrate you guys and all of your hard work over the last 5 weeks. You've studied, you've laughed, and you've even shed more tears. We call Stephanie our crybaby. So I, as your nurse leader, as your director of nursing, as your biggest cheerleader besides your beautiful loved ones out there, I'm so very proud of each of you. We sat during your interview process, right, for many of you, and we shared some stories. And so I intimately know the goals that many of you have. And as we talked, and as it's been said by our senior leaders, today is just the beginning of many. Dreams do come true at CareOne. Thank you for that, Frankie. That was beautiful. Today is the opportunity for you to take the next step, but we want to just acknowledge what you've accomplished. So you will be getting your certificates now, and the certificate that you will receive today reads as follows. Certificate of Completion. This certifies that each of you have successfully completed a 90-hour approved State of New Jersey Nurse Aid Training and Competency Evaluation Program offered by CareOne at East Brunswick. Your certificate is dated the 27th of July, 2017, and is endorsed by your instructor and myself as your superintendent. You will also receive your certified nurse aid pin that you will wear proudly upon successful completion of your New Jersey State written exam. I already know you passed your skills test. We're just waiting for, right? That's right. We're just waiting for you to get that email in the next 24 hours. Because as soon as you get it, who gets it next? I do. Miss Bellin wants it first, but then that's all right, because if you send it to her, she'll send it to me right away. Okay, so as I call your name, please join myself, Bellin, and Toya, our CNO, here on the stage to receive your certificate from your instructor and your penning from our Chief Nursing Officer. We do invite your family members to the stage to take pictures as we call your names. Ishakel Armand. Did I say that name right? One down. Haroon Bangura. Stephanie Coy.
You got it, Diane? Did your baby get it?
I told y'all to wear shoes, y'all. Ismael Dorian. Muriel Quinton. That's right, baby. She did earn it. Haydar Salam.
She's gonna say he's my baby. That's all baby.
Vassity Thomas.
I was going to laugh on my FedEx lady.
Here's our real crybaby here. And last but never least, Frankie Thomas.
She's my assistant. I'll take her with me to be here.
No, you're not. I don't share that easy. Before Belen leaves the stage, I'm going to, I'd like to just acknowledge Belen. So this is our second class, and Belen came in and we call her a little hurricane. Because she came into the building, again, and many of you have heard this story, unbeknownst to me, I had no idea what we were even getting ourselves into. And within a 24 to 48 hour period, she gave us a full rundown of the school that we were opening. But what I love most about Belen is that she takes what she does very seriously. And for the 5 weeks that she's with your loved ones, your mom, our employees, you become her family. And she puts in many hours, on the clock, off the clock. You guys call her around the clock. And it is very important to her that you do well. And even after graduation, she will still stay in contact with you. When she walks the halls, many of our current CNAs that graduated from her class 12 and 13 years ago still run and hug her, and she knows their children by name, and she asks about their children. So you can't put a value on that kind of mentorship and love. So she's gonna be leaving me. She doesn't know what she's gonna do without me. Right? She's going up north to one of our sister facilities to share the love, and we're going to replicate the success that we've had here throughout our company. So we would just like to thank Berlin. We love you. We appreciate you here at CareOne East Brunswick. And on behalf of myself, Alan, and I'm going to ask all of our department heads to please stand with me so that we can openly thank you for the hard work that you've done here at East Brunswick.
And Toya and I know Toya when she was 12 years old.
She's the only one who's known me since I was a CNA.
Yes, she was a CNA, okay? And so many years ago when I used to teach for one staff, I used her building. She gave me her building, everything, a room, everything, okay? And she's just like part of my life, okay? Toya is part of my life. Seeing her successful, as a matter of fact, I was the one who told our RDO, get Toya in this building, get Toya in our company, and he did. And walking this building, I found a soulmate in here. Tyra is my sister in Christ. It's so funny, the necklace that she's wearing right now, and it's her birthday. Oh my God, Tyra, I bought the same necklace. And we just like compare what we're wearing, okay? And it's such a pleasure seeing this building and all these young men and women progress in their lives and making an impact on the care of our residents. It's all that I could think of at night when I say my night prayers. Thank you, Lord, okay, for giving all what I have. Okay? And again, from the bottom of my heart, all of each and every one of you, department head, especially Kelly, with an ice cream special on Friday. Okay, Kelly, oh my God. Okay. I will be here tomorrow. And Jen from the kitchen, Jessica, okay, anything that we need, okay, and Diva, okay, we got up and down and up, and of course Alan. We missed our chance to eat the balut. Okay? Thank you, everybody.
While all our students have worked hard and done an amazing job, we'd like to recognize the special efforts and achievements of a few. So we have a couple of awards that we'd like to give out and recognize those students. The first award is our Service Excellence Award. This award is presented to the graduate that has demonstrated outstanding customer service in accordance with the CareOne mission and vision statement. And this award goes to Hayden Salam. Our Clinical Excellence Award is presented to the graduate that has demonstrated outstanding patient care skills in accordance with New Jersey Department of Health standards of the Nurse Aid Training and Competency. This award goes to Stephanie Coy.
No crying.
I told you don't cry. Oh my God. I got this. My nose are running.
Our Academic Excellence Award is presented to the graduate that has consistently provided excellent grades in both the written examinations and oral class participation. And this award goes to Ishakel Armand. This next award means a lot to me because this is the Enrichment Award. And this award is presented to the graduate that has shown the most growth, the most determination, and the most perseverance throughout this 5-week course period. So this graduate had a couple of odds against them in the beginning, and they rallied and they made it. And this award goes to Haroon Bangora. Last but again not least, our most prestigious award is our Elizabeth Straus Leadership Award. This award is named after our leader and executive vice president, Elizabeth Straus, and is presented to the graduate whose personality and intellectual gifts will one day make them an outstanding leader in their future with CareOne. Alan, could you join me on the stage to give this award out? And this award goes to Frankie Thomas.
That's my baby.
Graduates, if you would please stand with me and face our senior leaders, our department heads, and your family members. Would you please join me in your pledge to our residents? What we do, as happy as this day is, what we do is about those residents outside of this room in the beds. And so our commitment from this day forward is to the care and the safety of those residents. Please join with me on this date, July 27th, 2017, I solemnly pledge to provide safe and competent care to my residents, patients, families, and community, and to always uphold the mission and vision of CareOne. Thank you. Please be seated.